the heart, and I trust that you find the program of this, and I'm sure that they'll be glad you invited them. All right. For those that are connecting for the first time, Matters of the Heart is a relationship program for both singles and the married. Okay, so today we have an interesting discourse, and the topic is unconditional love. Does it exist? Unconditional love, does it exist? You see, um, in our society, the Nigerian society where I live currently, there's this this issue online, this trending issue online about a very much older man marrying a very very younger girl who is like 2 or 3 generations away from him, and the accusations against the girl has been that she married him for his money. She and her family, they made the girl marry him for his money. That the family lured the girl into, or deceived the girl into marrying that early, as young as between 19 and 20, to someone who's about 40 years older. And then the allegations on the part of the man is that, okay, he took advantage of her because he was rich. He took advantage of her, he used his money and all of that. So in the midst of things like this going on, it becomes important to ask or revisit the question, does unconditional love exist? Now, this is important to discuss because in the light of the background I've created, people will say, well, love must be tied to something. Those who want to speak in defense of the young lady will say, every love is tied to something. You love somebody because there was something that made you like a person. So no love is unconditional. That's what some people argue. Okay, especially those who want to defend a young girl marrying a man who is about 40 years or more older than her, or about 40 years older than her. People would want to say things like, everybody has a reason for loving somebody. There is a reason. There's something that makes one like somebody. So love is always conditional. That's an argument. That's not my position. But I want to hold a contrary view. In fact, I hold a contrary view, and that contrary view is what I want to present here. Yes, I hold a contrary view. And this is my position on that matter. You see, attraction can be conditional, but love is an unconditional thing. Love is always unconditional. And I'll explain that. But let me start. Yes, someone said, are you in Africa? Yes, I'm in Africa. I'm in the headquarters of Africa, actually. I am in Nigeria. Welcome to the broadcast, Wonga 99. Welcome. This is Matters of the Heart. It's a relationship discourse. So please share with your friends. Click on the like button. Click on the subscribe button. Very pleased to have you. God bless you. All right. So I'm saying that love, in its true sense, is unconditional. Attraction can be conditional. I mean, something can attract you to somebody. Something can make you attracted to somebody. Something can even make you like somebody. But love is unconditional. Because after getting attracted to somebody, after liking somebody, when you begin to live with that person, especially in the context of marriage or a committed relationship, you begin to see many other things you don't like about that person. For that one thing you liked about that person that made you attracted to the person, you could see 3 other things that you don't like about that person, and the negative things might even have some more impact than the positive one. Yes, the negative things might be more striking than the positive one. So at that point, what do you say? People who have been married for 30 years, are you saying that there is nothing wrong with each of them? The both of them are perfect? No. So you see, if love is tied to something, there must be other things that are not good that should have cancelled that love. But to tell you that it is likeness that is tied to something, which is why some people, they see somebody, they see a lady, oh, they are trying, what a beautiful lady, and all of that. They get fond of her, they strike a relationship. Before you say Jack Robinson, they broken up. Before you say Jack Robinson, they are divorced. Why? It is just likeness. It is tied to something. When that thing is no more there, or when something negative that is stronger than that thing surfaces, then they lose grip of that thing that drew them to that person in the first place. So that's attraction, that's likeness. But love is unconditional. And let me begin to defend that point. Number one, you see, every possibility in this life God has modeled for us. And one of those possibilities is unconditional love. Romans chapter 5, verse 8, the Bible says, "For God commends his love towards us, in that whilst we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." So if God can die for us, if God can send his son to die for us, even when we are sinning against him, which is an act of unconditional love, it means that unconditional love is a possibility. Permit me to use the phrase unconditional love. It's tautology, actually, because love is unconditional. So now saying unconditional love is tautology, but just for the purpose of explanation, the purpose of expression, for ease of understanding. So permit me, let me use that poetic license tonight. All right. So for God commends his love towards us, in that whilst we were sinners, Christ died for us. So if God can send his son, only son, as at then, to die for us, even whilst we are still sinning against him, it means what he had for us and still has for us is unconditional love. And that means that unconditional love is a possibility because God modeled it for us. Are you getting the point? So that's the first point to establish that unconditional love is a possibility. There is such a thing as unconditional love. It is real. It exists. The second is this: parenting. Parenting. When you become a parent, if you are not yet a parent, you may not understand, but when you become a parent, you will see there's this love for your children that you can't explain. No matter what they do, of course, you can discipline them, you can beat them, you can spank them because you want them to be better people. You're molding their character, but that's not because you hate them. That same child that you finish flogging, if somebody comes to beat up that child, you will stand and fight to protect that child. That's unconditional love. No matter what a child does, you still see the parents stand by the child. The parent does not disown the child. The parent or the parents, depending on whether it's a home of father and mother or single parent, but the parents will always stand by their children. Does it mean their children are perfect? No. But because the love they have for their children is unconditional. You see a child offend the parents get angry, they rebuke, they shout, they flog the child. If someone comes with a gun now and says, "I must kill one person here," between you, the parent, and the child, make a choice. The parent, without thinking twice, will gladly offer him or herself. Why? That is unconditional love. The child just insulted the parents some minutes ago. That is unconditional love. You see, I started feeling this thing. There's this needs of mine. There's this needs of mine. You know, I just got so endeared to. We started talking frequently. The love I feel for that girl, if she knows the love I feel for her, she will misbehave. Yes, she will misbehave. Whenever she calls me on phone and she says, "Uncle, good evening," oh my God, it's as if my breath is on pause. My breath is taken away. Oh my God. The moment she says, "Uncle, good evening," or I query her for something, I said, "You did not call me or you did not ask me how my journey was," and all of these things. The next thing, she doesn't argue. The next thing she says is, "I am sorry." You see that even with the childish voice, it just melts me. What I feel in my heart, she's not my biological child though. Already I'm imagining, what if this were my biological child? And what that my niece does not know is that in this life, as long as God keeps me, I am ready to give her my life, my entire life. Anything I have is her own, provided she wants it. She doesn't even have to need it. If she wants it, it is her own. If I have 1 billion, if 1 billion is all I have in my account, and she needs that 1 billion for something useful to her, maybe education also, I'm ready to give it all out. That is how much of a love I feel for her. What has she done for me? Nothing. She's done nothing for me. That's to tell you that unconditional love is possible. I've explained this at the God level. I've explained it at the parental level. And any love that is possible in any dimension is possible in every other dimension. So if unconditional love is possible as per between God and man, if unconditional love is possible between parents and children, it means it is possible at any level and in any dimension. So even in marriage, unconditional love is possible. In relationships leading to marriage, unconditional love is possible. I want you to embrace that. Condition your mind to believe that and to accept that, and then it begins to work. All right? So attraction can be tied to something, but love, genuine love, is unconditional. Yes. If love is conditioned on something, then it is not love. And that's why you see in some marriages, the woman is insubordinate. You ask her, why are you not submissive to your husband? Because he does not love me. No, 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 no. Or you ask the man, why don't you love your wife? Because she does not submit. When God told the man, love your wife, he did not say provided she submits to you. Just love her. Because love is meant to be unconditional. The instruction to the husband to love the wife is independent of the instruction to the woman to submit to the husband, and vice versa. So if your love to somebody is tied to something, that is not love. That is not love. That can be likeness. Yes. If you really love somebody, and of course by now you should know that love is commitment. If you're really in love with somebody, you're committed to the person, it will be independent of any condition. And I hope this helps someone's relationship, this helps someone's marriage. I'll see you next week, same time. Please feel free to send me your questions any day, anytime. You can send your questions to victorokwudiri@gmail.com. Okwudiri is spelled Okwudiri. Okwudiri. Yes, you can also send it as DMs to any of our social media platforms. So on that note, I'd like to invite you to connect with us via social media across all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter now X, Instagram, of course, this is YouTube, WhatsApp, Telegram, all right, across TikTok, of course, except Snapchat. So just search for Victor Okwudiri. Victor Okwudiri. Okwudiri is Okwudiri. Okwudiri. Search for Victor Okwudiri, and then you can send a DM asking your questions, or you can send it via email to the email address I called victorokwudiri@gmail.com. You can also send it as an SMS or as a WhatsApp message or a Telegram message to this number +2348037674300 +2348037674300. I trust you are blessed by tonight's broadcast. Let's do it again next week, Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Until then, your relationship will succeed. Peace out.